We had expected initially Sara Manzano-Diaz, who's director of the Women's Bureau at the U.S. Department of Labor, to join us, and unfortunately she was called away at the last moment due to an emergency meeting there at the Department of Labor. But we're thrilled that we are joined by Rose Hollandes, who is Special Assistant to the Director, and Sandra Vega, who is Chief of Staff at the Women's Bureau. So with that, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Rose.
Hi, hello, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Lockwood-Shabbat, for that overview and for the introduction. I also would like to thank the members of the Women's Economic Security Campaign for putting this webinar together. The director, as you said, Sara Manzano-Diaz, sincerely apologizes for not being able to make it today. She had an emergency, and which unfortunately prevented her from participating in today's webinar. However, she believed so strongly in the work of the campaign and the organizations participating in today's webinar that she asked me and Sandra, her Chief of Staff, to represent her today. I just want to allow Sandra to say hello to everyone.
Good afternoon. This is Sandra Vega, and I am the new Chief of Staff for the Women's Bureau. And it's my third day on the job, so I will sit and listen. And Rose has prepared for this, and she will be talking, she'll give you her presentation. So hello, everyone.
Thanks, Sandra. So first off, we want to say that all of us here at the Women's Bureau are proud to be working for an administration that is dedicated to improving the lives of America's women and girls. As some of you already know, the first bill the President signed into law was the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, which restores basic protections against pay discrimination for women and other workers. The President also created the White House Council for Women and Girls, of which Director Manzano-Diaz is a member. In addition, we are proud to have Secretary Hilda Solis leading the Department of Labor. Her work has always focused on the underserved and most vulnerable populations, and that's why the Department's investments and enforcement activities target those who are at greater risk. And in line with the Secretary's vision of good jobs for everyone, Director Manzano-Diaz's vision for the Women's Bureau is to empower all working women to achieve economic security. You may not know this, but the Women's Bureau is a jewel in the federal government. The Bureau has always been a champion for working women, and the Director recognizes that we have a great challenge before us, being in an economic recession, and which for some is a depression. As of February 2010, women represented 41% of unemployed persons. The Director, therefore, has made it her priority to make a real difference in the lives of women and their families who are suffering in this economy, especially low-income women. The Bureau is therefore working to help this population find pathways out of poverty, particularly the training and the education to get the jobs that will help them rise above this economic crisis and into middle-class jobs. Director Manzano-Diaz believes that green jobs are an important pathway that can help low-income women and their families achieve economic security. That's why the Bureau is collaborating with employers, unions, education and training providers, green industry organizations, and other government agencies to raise awareness, expand training options, and promote the recruitment and retention of women in green career pathways. In addition, the Women's Bureau replicated the Secretary's Women and Green Jobs Roundtable, which brought leading women from labor, business, government, and nonprofit sectors from around the country to share how they are shaping our green economic strategy and how we can work together to ensure that women have access to the green economy. This roundtable was the Department's first step in ensuring that women take advantage of the current and emerging opportunities in green-collar jobs. So using her roundtable as a model and inspiration, the Women's Bureau hosted 30 regional Women in Green Jobs roundtables around the country from September to December 2009. And from these roundtables, the Bureau learned that lack of awareness or information about green jobs is a key challenge women face. In response, the Women's Bureau began developing a publication which will give women the information they need. The publication is called A Women's Guide to Green Jobs, and it will be coming out this fall. The guide is going to provide women workers and workforce professionals with information on hiring needs and challenges, training and entrepreneurship opportunities, and in-demand and emerging jobs in green industries. In addition, the Bureau is also hosting a series of teleconference calls focused on women in green jobs. Our next one is towards the end of May. It will focus on the recruitment and retention of women in the green job sector. And I encourage you to check out our website, which is www.gol.gov/WB, for more updated information for this call and how to register. Furthermore, the Women's Bureau also has 9 regional green jobs training projects, which serve as models for engaging and preparing women for high growth and emerging green jobs over the next decade.